Okay, in this video, this is going to be our summary of the things that we've covered. We're going to work through several examples and basically try to apply it to some real world situations and use everything that we have learned. Okay, so with this right here, let's just say that I gave you the question of show me the decimal and the percent that is equivalent to 1/5 and shade it in this box and in this percent bar. This percent bar is something that you can actually draw yourself. You could draw this large grid here with 100 squares, but that would take a while. But this percent bar is something that you can use, and you can continue to use on into algebra and so forth when you're working with any word problems in real life situations that involve percents. This is a great tool. So and it's very simple to use. Alright, so again, the 1/5. So we wanted the decimal and we wanted the percent. So let's go to a decimal first. That's easy, right? Remember from everything we've covered, 1/5 is the same as 1 divided by 5. Okay, so let's do that. 1 divided by 5. 5 goes into 1 0 times. Put in 0. 5 goes into 10 2 times. 5 times 2 is 10. 0 remainder. We're done. Alright, so we'll write that 0.2, which is 2/10. Alright, and then we wanted also the percent. Right? Okay, so the way we can do that is take our decimal, move it 2 places to the right, add a percent sign, remember? So that's just 20%. We moved it 1, 2, that becomes 20, add the percent sign, and we are done. The way we attacked this large grid is we could take our percent, put it over 100, and since we have 100 squares in here, that showed us how much to shade, right? So our percent, 20 over 100, that is equivalent to 1/5, of course. 20 goes into 20 one time, goes into 100 5 times, right? Okay, so 20 out of 100. Each one of these had 10. We can shade the columns. I'm going to pause and we'll do that. Alright, so that's that. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So 20 out of 100 gives us our shading. Okay, now we need to use our fraction bar. Well, all we need to do there, we've got 0 to 100%. You can have a fraction or percent bar that's got 200% in it if you wanted, and we'll try to find an example like that in a minute, or 300% or whatever, because you will have real life situations where you need to use that. But for this example, our percent we've already found. It's right here. Circle it. 20%. So where would this lie? Well, here's 50%. Is it greater than or less than 50%? Well, 20 is less than, right? So we go to the left. Go this way. Alright, 25% is another mark, which is halfway between 0 and 50, right? So 25% is 20% less than that or greater than that? It's less than that, right? So it's a little bit to the left of 25%. So just approximate it right there. And we're going to say that that is our 20%. Mark 20%. And then we can shade that. See if this works for me and doesn't do anything crazy. Yeah, good. Alright, so there we go. So we're done. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Alright, in this example, say I said give me the decimal and fraction and shading in both the grids and the percent bar for 125%. Okay, so remember we talked before, you can have this percent bar can be greater than 100%. You can still use it. Alright, let's think of an example real quick. What would happen if we said that the price of a video game that you wanted had increased by 125%? what would that mean? Would that mean that the price is more or less than it was before? Well, it would have to be more than, right? So let's do that. Let's find our decimal first. Remember how we do that? We take what's in front of the percent sign. We move the decimal, which is currently right here, right? We move it 2 places to the left and remove the percent sign. So 1, 2, that becomes 1.25 or 1 and 25 100ths, and just like we've said, 1 and 25 100ths, that makes that easy to convert that to a fraction, right? 1 and 25 100ths, right? That easy. We can reduce this still, okay? This is the same as 1 and 25 will go into 25 one time, right? And it will go into 100 4 times, right? So 1 1/4 is our fraction. So here's our answers. We've already got it done. Now on the shading, how do you think we would do that? 125%. Remember, when we attack these, we take this number with our percent and put it over 100. So that's 125 out of 100. Now here's an interesting thing. We haven't had one like this before. So 125 out of 100 means that you are going to have more than one of these whole things shaded, right? Because one of these was 100. So if you shade 100 of these, how much are you going to have left from this 125? You're still going to have how many? Another 25 left, right? So you've got all of these 100 plus 25 in this box, right? Does that make sense? All 100 here and 25 of these. So 125 of these, okay? Notice that 125 out of 100 is greater than 1, right? Just like we've seen here. This is going to be equivalent, okay? Look at it this way. If you don't like this mixed number, we can do an improper fraction here. 25 goes into 125 how many times? 5 times, right? Goes into 100 4 times. Is 5/4 bigger or smaller than 1? It's bigger than 1, right? It would be like this. Another graphical or visual representation would be this. Okay, we have fourths, right? The denominator means it's split into 4 pieces. Okay, my son is running through with his truck, so I apologize for that. Okay, so 5/4. So you agree that one of these whole things is split into fourths. One of these whole things split into fourths. View these as the same size. Okay, I'm not an artist, but let's say that's to scale. So we need the denominator is the fourths part split into 4 parts, and we've got 5 of those equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we're going to do that here, only we've got 100 split into 100 pieces, so we need 125 of these that are split into 100 parts. I just want you to see that what this is right here is the same as what we're doing here. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to shade that in. Hold on. Okay, that took a while, but I got it shaded. Okay, so 100, 100, and each one of these are 10, so 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 125 of these equal boxes that are split into 100. Okay? Alright, so that's that. Now let's do our percent bar down here. Okay, so we have 100 already marked for us in this bar, and we have 150% already marked for us. So 125%, which is what we actually started with, is that greater than or less than 100%? It's greater than. Alright, is it less than or greater than 150? It's less than, so it's got to be the left of that. And you probably know that 25 is halfway between 0 and 50, so 125 is halfway between 100 and 150, right? So 125%. Now, here's something you have to be clear on. Are we going to shade this way or this way? We're going to shade that one, right? To the left, right? Not to the right. Because if we did that, how much would we have? We would have 50 plus 25 more. We'd only be shading 75% if we did this side. If we did all of this, right? So that would be wrong. We need to do 125%. So 100% is all of this right here, and then another 25% right here. So 125% total. So let's shade that. Oop, 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 oop. There we go. 125% shaded. Alright. So let's go to, we should have time for one more example. Okay, another example. I'm going to try to squeeze in two, but we may only get to one. Okay, let's do a real world example. Let's say that you and two of your buddies ordered a pizza, and you each ate a different quantity, and you were trying to decide who had more or less, and one of you ate, the quantity you ate was broke down into a fraction, one of your buddies into a decimal, and the other into a percent. So how are you going to determine who ate more? Alright, so let's say you ate 2/5 of the pizza, 2/5. Your buddy John ate 0.2, 2/10 of the pizza, and your buddy Jack ate 30% of the pizza. 30%. So who ate more? Well, when we're comparing, guess what? You get to convert these into whatever you want to convert them to. Whatever works best for you. For me personally, it's always decimal, so that just clicks with my brain the best. If it's percents, hey, use percents. If it's fractions, then convert the others to fractions. As long as you convert them, the best thing to do is always convert them to the same thing, the same form, whether it's fractions, decimals, or percents, then you've got it at that point. So this one right here is already done, right? 0.2. So I need to get 2/5 and 30% into a decimal, and I've got it. Okay, so 2/5 same as 2 divided by 5. 2 divided by 5. 5 goes into 2 0 times, put in our decimal. 5 goes into 20 4 times. 5 times 4 is 20. 0 remainder, done. So that's 0.4 equals 0.4, same as 0.4. 2/5 same as 0.4 or 4/10, right? 30%. Okay, that's easy. We just move the decimal 1, 2 and remove the percent. So that's the same as 0.3 or 3/10. Okay, so 2/10, 3/10, 4/10. Let's put that in order. So who ate the least? Who ate the least? So we've only got tenths here, so which is the smallest in tenths? Well, John is, right? So John at 0.2 or 2/10. Then it would be Jack, right, at 3/10. Jack at 3/10. And then you at 4/10. So you got the most pizza. You at 4/10. Okay? Okay, so let's say our local TV station was tracking the temperatures throughout the day and had these changes that took place, and we needed to put these in order from least to greatest. So let's see how we could attack this. Increase of 5/8 degree. What would you say is the easiest way to write 5/8 degree? Well, it would be 5/8, right? So a fraction would be the best way to do that. A drop of 6 degrees. Well, a drop means what? From our integer discussion, that means negative, right? -6. And then last is increase of 5/10 degree. Well, how would we write that? 5/10 or 0.5, which is the same as 5/10. Alright, so now we need to rank these from least to greatest, and the easiest way to do that is to get them all in the same form, probably decimal, right? 0.625, 6.0, and 0.5. How would we write those? Well, pretty easy, right? 0.5, then 0.625, then 6.0. See you in the next video.